Welcome back to Trailer Academy. I'm Brandon Jones. If you want to make enemies, try saying something bad about this trailer.
No, really, we pissed off a lot of people by ranking this number 77 on our list of the top 100 trailers of all time, which I suppose is a glass half full, half empty kind of situation where, yes, we did say that there are 76 trailers we consider better than this one, but that also means there are about 10 billion that fall well behind it. This trailer gets a lot of things right, many more than I first realized thanks to our intern Mike Huber, who captured the gameplay for this episode and pointed out a lot of things I didn't realize the first time. But this trailer also makes a big mistake, one that a lot of other trailers can learn from. Lesson number 3, show it. Don't say it. Saying something instead of showing it is very common in this industry. It's much easier to tell you a story is amazing without actually explaining it. But trailers are primarily a visual medium, and the most impactful discoveries occur when viewers spot something for themselves instead of having it spelled out. The Deus Ex Human Revolution CG trailer, released 8 months before the game launched, features an incredible musical score and some mind-blowing visuals, but it also focuses heavily on information that should be blatantly obvious to the viewer, even if they're unfamiliar with the franchise. About a minute into the extended trailer, we meet the new and improved Adam Jensen. After being nearly killed by a paramilitary group called the Tyrants, his employer, Seraph Industries, augmented Adam with cybernetic implants. His arms were reconstructed with adjustable appendages created from advanced polymers and lightweight metals. They're so powerful that Adam apparently doesn't know or doesn't care about his own strength. We're then told the year is 2027, presumably to inform those who played the original Deus Ex that Human Revolution is a prequel. To the uninitiated, however, this information holds little value and is frankly a bit unbelievable. Following these words, we're shown a view of Hengsha in the future, and it's highly unlikely that this much development could occur in a mere 17 years. We're already 3 years past when this trailer came out, and Shanghai, China's most populated city, looks pretty much the same as it did back in 2010. Cutting back and forth between the skyline and Adam's apartment, it appears as if we're in the same city, but Adam lives in Detroit. It's then the trailer presumes that we haven't been paying attention and informs us that the year 2027 is a time of great innovation and technological advancement. These two statements are nearly identical. It's difficult to imagine a culture of technological advancement that isn't innovating in some way, and likewise, great innovation usually leads to advancement in technology. Not to mention the fact that we've already seen metallic arms, huge glass displays, eyeball cameras, super slick automatic blinds, and a city bigger than anything currently on Earth. The fact that the future will produce neater gizmos for us to play with is kind of a given, and the trailer wastes time telling us this. It goes on to inform us that it is also a time of chaos and conspiracy, which is more effectively demonstrated by the riot footage that immediately follows. David Seraph, head of Seraph Industries, also does a much better job conveying this data by telling Adam their enemies are always in the shadows. So much effort went into making each detail stand out in this trailer that it's surprising these titles give us such obvious information. The problem is not that they are written poorly, the trailer doesn't need them to begin with. There are also bizarre continuity issues with the edit, along with unnecessary repetition. First, we see Adam light a cigarette and then reach for a glass of Goldtooth liquor, named after the trailer's directing studio, Goldtooth Creative. He brings the glass to his lips and the cigarette has disappeared. The next time we see him, the cigarette is returned, but the glass is no longer cracked. Adam later extinguishes the cigarette and the cracks come back. Later in the trailer, the anchorwoman states that the police have opened fire on the crowd, even though that information is already given in this shot. The repetition continues when we start the admittedly awesome Adam combat montage. The problem is we go back and forth between Adam flexing his augmented muscles and the Tyrants attacking a protest outside of Seraph Industries. It's good to see both these scenes, but pointless and pace-breaking to cut back and forth between them. Show us the riot, and then show us Adam's powers. Don't cut back to the riot if all we're going to see is smoke grenades and people being stepped on. Now for the good stuff. All of this nitpicking aside, this trailer does accurately represent a lot of elements from the final game, and even bits from the first Deus Ex. In the beginning of the trailer, we see doctors, possibly from the Renaissance, examining someone that looks like Adam Jensen. The Renaissance was when we made great strides in the understanding of human bone and muscle structure, and is obviously meant as a parallel to the testing done in the futuristic world of Human Revolution. This image is seen later when Adam is resting in his apartment. After being examined, Adam, as if he's a ghost leaving his body, rises through the roof of the building and rockets toward the sun. This is referencing the Greek myth of Icarus, the son of Daedalus. The two were trapped on the island of Crete until Daedalus created wings of feathers and wax that allowed them to escape. Against his father's advice, Icarus flew too close to the sun. The wax melted, and Icarus plummeted to his death in the ocean below. The Lament of Icarus, a famous painting by Herbert James Draper, can be found in the final game, along with paintings depicting the first scene in the trailer.
You overthink everything, Adam. The work we're doing is good. We're helping people overcome their physical limitations.
Icarus is also a nod to the first Deus Ex.
What are you looking for?
In the game, Icarus is a form of artificial intelligence that is created to replace an insubordinate AI called Daedalus.
You will find no one to help you here.
The two are accidentally combined, creating a third AI called Helios, the Greek personification of the sun. The move Adam performs near the end of the trailer is ironically called the Icarus landing system in the final game. It cushions the hero's fall from long distances, even though Icarus wasn't known for his safe landings. There was also a novel called The Icarus Effect, written by James Swallow, which focused on events leading up to human revolution. The thematic ties to Icarus and human revolution are more obvious. You could say Adam is given wings when he's augmented with bladed robo-arms, and the fall that the Greek Icarus made back to Earth reflects the flawed augmentation aspirations of Seraph Industries. The finale of the game also takes place in the middle of the ocean. Several other moments from the trailer are repeated in the game, including Adam's combat moves. Blade kills of the single or double variety are a common way to discreetly take care of enemies. Targets can be grabbed by the skull and spun like a screw, or grabbed through a wall for an efficient neck snap. Tyrant operatives Yelena Fedorova and Lawrence Barrett are shown, who both appear as bosses in the final game. While en route to Hengsha in the game, Adam's transport is shot down. In the trailer, one of the wings is blown off, but in the final game it's grounded after being disrupted by an EMP blast. The Detroit riot takes place during an in-game cinema, and Adam later navigates through its aftermath. He encounters the Purist, who is forced to shoot himself in the head in an early mission, and locations like Adam's apartment and the augmentation room can be visited. A few lines of dialogue also make the transition between trailer and game, from Bill Taggart, founder of the Humanity Front.
The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient.
David Seraph,
But these people? They're like ghosts. Always in the shadows, always hiding behind lies and proxies.
and Eliza Cassan.
It is not the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
The last shot we see of Adam shows him traveling in a rocket towards one of the Panchaea installations that have allegedly been created to combat the effects of global warming. This one is located in the Arctic Ocean, and Adam travels there at the end of the game. As you can tell by this point, a great deal of thought went into this trailer's construction. The trailer and game were scored by Michael McCann, who also composed the music for Splinter Cell Double Agent and XCOM Enemy Unknown. Human Revolution's main theme, appropriately titled Icarus, emits a hypnotizing tone that fits perfectly with the story and mood. This attitude, combined with the incredible visuals provided by Square Enix's Visual Works studio in Japan, is what makes the trailer so irresistibly cool. It's because the video is so good in these regards that it's unfortunate it gets bogged down by the sophomore titles and needlessly reoccurring edits.
Tone and attitude play a big part in making a trailer compelling, so if you really dig the vibe in this trailer and could watch it go on for hours and hours, I'm not expecting to change your mind. But you want to use titles smartly and sparingly, otherwise you're going to end up talking down to your audience. If you want to see any other trailers based on espionage, I suggest the E3 2011 trailer for Fuse, aka Overstrike, the E3 2009 trailers for Alpha Protocol and Splinter Cell Conviction, and the Courage is Solid theatrical trailer for Metal Gear Solid 4. If you want to see these trailers now, go back to the Trailer Academy show page and you'll find them in a section called Top of the Class. And if you want to gripe at me directly, you can reach me on my Twitter page at GameTrailersVO. See you next time.
See all of our shows and game reviews now on the brand new GT app on Xbox Live, and the GT Originals iOS app too.